Hi guys, it's back after we got back from the race. We've got the trailer inside the shed here and we're going to start pulling out the gearbox and the engine. Maybe just the engine, we'll know, we haven't decided yet. Pull the engine out, pull it down, see what damage has been done and check everything along the way.
What do I do with my hands?
Nothing, I'll do all the work. Just going to show you the alpha lock and see how easy it is to do. So we've put these on there to prevent the pipes blowing off, but also to make it easy in the event that you have to pull an engine out. So it's a matter of just literally twisting this pipe. That's it, it's off. Hey presto. These rubber couplings is what seals it, and then obviously this is what locks it in. So the same as when you're putting it back on, you just twist it on, keep twisting it till you, and that's it. She's on. Very, very easy to use. So we're halfway through pulling everything apart and we've pulled the turbo off, and I'll just show you in here what we found is we've found coolant. So if you see in there, I'll see if I can adjust the light for you. Down there we've got coolant in here, which is indicating that coolant's gone through. We have drained the radiator and only about 3 or 4 litres came out of the system. So we'll look into it further, but at this stage it looked like it could possibly be a head gasket and it's leaked coolant into the motor, hydraulic lock the motor, and that's what's caused the failure, but we'll keep digging and go from there. Alright, crossover pipe. If you can see down inside it, you'll see some residue. You might not be able to see that, but green coolant, and my guess is that's where the rest of our coolant is.
Head gasket.
More signs to say it's a head gasket. Righto, time to drain the oil. Let's see what colour it is. Green, yep.
Oh, that's green coming out.
That is coolant, not oil.
Oh,
Oh,
God. Oh my God.
Not great at all.
Well, at least that's why there wasn't a fire. But there's going to be like 10 litres of coolant in there.
That explains the smoke coming out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's not one bit of oil come out yet. Oh, here it comes.
Here it comes. Come on, trickle, 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 trickle. And wow.
For all you at home that want to know, oil will separate on top of coolant in a situation.
Well, there we are. We found where the coolant went. The mystery of the coolant disappearing.
Coolant.
As soon as I smell that.
Naughty, naughty LS, naughty.
Right, there we have it, people. Couple of hours. The whole front end is completely apart. Gearbox out, engine mounts undone. Couple of fuel lines to unhook and a couple of harnesses, and she's good to go. Cool, isn't it? Oh yeah. Loves it.
At least it wasn't going to get hot. Righto, that's it. Engine's out. That's where she used to live. You'd think plenty of room, but it wasn't the easiest thing to get out. The sway bar in the end was causing us a bit of grief, so we disconnected that. And there she is. Now time for disassembly. One thing we noticed earlier, which we'll get into a bit later, is this manifold is obviously not up to the task. You can see here it's just split, and not from the weld, just from the wall itself. So we'll might have to reconfigure them and change that side, that manifold side. Not the funnest of jobs, but at least it's out now. We'll get into stripping it apart and see exactly what went wrong and fix it, put it back together. Passenger side bank head coming off. And looks like we've got shrapnel in here. So, don't know how well you can see that in there, but look at this big fucker right in here. Get the torch in there.
My torch? It's up there.
Got it. Can you see that? That is a big piece of metal. We've pulled both heads off and we've found a lot more issues, so I'll show you some of the things we've found so far. We've got this piston here. Obviously the rod is no longer connected to the crank and or piston. Same on the opposite side. So the rest of the pistons seem like we've got some shit that's gone through here, but they seem okay. You can see it's the valve, it's been hitting with the valve, and again it is just not connected. You can see in there all the shrapnel that's just gone through, and the news doesn't get any better. Upon looking on the side here, we have a big ass crack. So this block is going to become a coffee table for someone somewhere. Alright guys, the moment of truth, time to pull this sump off and see how bad it really is.
Oh
shit.
Shit. Look at the oil pickups.
That is
completely
not good.
Crushed. Oh.
There is so much metal in here.
Look. Oh, it's a rod bolt. That's a rod bolt. Whoa.
I don't think at this point it's going to be a matter of just doing a shell swap and putting it back together. That could not be a worst case scenario.
So what RPM do you reckon it let go? Because you were in the top of fourth.
I think it let go around about 250 k's, 220 k's an hour, or whatever it was.
Nearly 230.
Yeah.
227.
Yeah.
So it would have been, yeah, it would have been at the top of the RPM. What's the limiter in that?
7.5.
There you go. That's why it's carnage, man. It probably has let go. You just haven't heard it until you started decelling. That's wild.
We'll pull that windage tray off and we'll keep digging, see what else we can find. Holy shit.
Oh, God.
I haven't seen a lot of fucked engines in my time, but this would be up there
Holy shit, dude.
with the worst. Sorry.
That was a rod.
What's the brand? Kmart. Fucking hell. No, sorry, no rain checks.
Oh, yeah, that bearing's fine.
This will need a line home.
Look at the crank. It almost threw a crank. How does it even throw a crank? There is no bearing left. Hang on.
Compstar rods, there you go. Yeah, guys, not great news, obviously. That couldn't have been any worse, but that's the car scene, that's racing. You win some, you lose some. The motor was doing a great job and it was put up to a good task, but Look, who knows really? It looks like it must be oiling issue. Something's caught, and once it's let a rod go, well, obviously the rest of the carnage is done. At the speed and the revs that we were doing, even just shutting the motor down straight away, it's just too late. You know, it would have done, I'm just guessing, like 1,000 revolutions or something like crazy like that before we'd been able to pull it up, and obviously that's what you get.
Well, that became a passenger pretty much in the engine.
Yeah.
It had no control of where it was going. It was like, you know what, I'm on my way.
It had an all-day pass on Psifedbrz. They're just going every different station. She is not a happy chappy. The motor's actually back in the car, which is good news. We're going to see that on the next episodes. Now start feeding some content through more regularly. But for now, I'm just going to show you a bit of a summary of what we've found with the engine. So I'll show you the engine itself, see how far the extent of the damage was. Obviously, we've gone with a whole new short block because, as you'll see shortly, it's gone to God. So I'll bring you over. I've just tucked it in the corner. But yeah, as you can see, that bad boy there is one of the two that let go. So basically, we've had oiling issues here. It's caught a bearing. These two have got hot. That snapped. The other big end's actually come loose, and it's just gone through the motor. And you can see the damage here. It's done. It is pretty excessive. It's just sent shit all the way through the motor. You'll also see over here, right here, I'll try to get you in there, big ass crack in there, and you can just see it down in there. So we're looking down in here. I know the lighting's not awesome in there. So yeah, we've just, like I said, in the application that we're using, we will just get rid of that. In the application that we're doing, obviously safe to say we'll start again. So I'll show you shortly the new build. I'll also just quickly take you over. So I kept this as a souvenir. But that's just one of the good rods. So just the impact from the damage of the motor when everything started to get sent through the motor. So that's just the impact from the shrapnel going through the motor. When this happened, it was doing about 5 to 7,000 RPM, probably actually closer to 6.5. So when it happened, you know, obviously instantly it's just travelled with, you know, over 1,000 revolutions before I was able to even get my foot on the clutch and turn the car off. And by that stage, the damage was already done. So what we will be doing, and we've learned a hard lesson from this, is accumulator. So we're going to be able to protect the oil, monitor it better, although, you know, you just don't have a chance. Once you lose oil pressure at that speed, it doesn't take long before things like this happen. So adding more protection. As we develop the car more, we're going to get faster around corners, we're going to get faster in a straight line, we're putting in boost by gear and those sorts of things, so we're going to get more traction, and eventually it's going to have more oil control issues. So the next step is, you know, different sump and the accumulator, along with some other little goodies along the way, and then we're going to make sure that we protect the engine as much as we possibly can. The good thing about having the Haltech computer in there is we can see this, although it's for logging. So we're seeing this after the event. You can see it live, but, you know, even by the time, there's no dash light. The oil pressure didn't dip down that low during the event, but it doesn't take long. You know, it can happen once it loses that quota oil and it wipes the bearing and it grabs, you know, it's over an instant. So a bit devastating, but we've started again, and now the good news is we're already back. The new motor's back in the car, so we're going to get straight into the new content and show you the new engine, what we've done with it, putting it back together, and then we'll be back out on the track in next to no time. So stay with us.